Ayan, good evening everyone, no? It's Wednesday evening, no, sa atin. So I would like to say hi to our USANA family, not only sa Philippines but also those who are, no, from all over the world. So can you please type in the chat box? Pwede ba nating malaman kung nasaan ka sa parte ng ngayon ng mundo, no? Meron tayong ayan, salamat sa mga sumagot. We have from the Philippines, meron tayong Kuwait, Cebu, we have from Laguna, ayan, Salt Lake City, ayan, may taga Salt Lake City, ayan, Iligan, Bohol. So all parts of the world, no, we have a lot of associates who are really would want to learn from us from our training this evening. So let me just introduce myself. My name is Michelle Arcansalin. I'm your host for tonight. I am your sales manager in USANA Philippines, and I am based in Davao City, no? So ako po yung sales manager here based in Davao. So this week we have training, no? It's another our online business series, which is the Art of Failing Forward series. Ayan. So knowing, no, mga Filipinos, most especially, we are known to be very resilient, no? Any challenges, kahit ano pang mga challenges na dumating sa buhay natin, sa business natin, no? Sa personal life, sa career, or whatever, wherever we are right now, we are known to be very resilient, no? Kaya nating bumangon, kaya nating gawing motivation lahat ng mga naging failures natin, no? And this training, no, marami tayong we're going to listen to different stories, no? Paano nila nagamit yung mga failures nila, yung mga challenges nila to become a successful USANA associate. All right. So we have for tonight one of USANA's Ruby Director, Michi Lantajo. All right. So before we start, no, before we go on to our training this evening, so let me just have a recap, no. So yesterday we had USANA's Diamond Director, Archie Sanmeram, no, who shared to us the need for resilience. Okay. So tomorrow we have what I learned from my failures. Ayan. So ano daw yung mga natutunan niya from his failures? Of course, that will be shared to us by one of USANA's executive goal director, Kurt Chan. Ayan. So isa sa mga millennial leaders natin to, si Kurt Chan. Ayan. So watch out for that. And of course, tomorrow, do not forget not to attend this training, our Sustaining Momentum series for 2021. So for tomorrow, we will be having, of course, life habits, habits and life goals. Of course, our speaker will be USANA's brand ambassador, Francis Kong, and this is back-to-back with USANA's executive for two-star Diamond Director, Lichelle Yambao. So that's tomorrow, November 26, at 10 o'clock in the morning until 12. So this is by invitation, but if you will not be able to join our Zoom, so you can watch this via FB Live sa ating Sustaining Momentum, no, yung ating closed group, no, ng ating Sustaining Momentum. So you can watch or you can hear from this training doon sa ating FB Live. If you're not a member, please do join. No, just don't forget to answer those questions na kailangan ninyong sagutin for you to be accepted in that Sustaining Momentum closed group sa ating Facebook. Ayan. So that's tomorrow, life and habits and life goals. Ayan. So we are talking about incentive trips, no? Last week na po ngayon ng ating Leadership Summit in Tokyo, Japan in 2021. So this is going to be the last week. Ang deadline po nito ay on Saturday, November 28. Okay, Saturday, November 28. That's at 1:59 in the afternoon. Ayan. So para dun sa mga humahabol ng kanilang incentive trip, no, to Japan, Leadership Summit, huwag niyo pong kakalimutan. And nasan ba, no? Where will be the next Leadership Summit destination? That will be, of course, in that's in Maldives in 2021. So right after the Leadership Summit in Tokyo, Japan, we will already start our Leadership Summit qualification for Maldives in 2021. Of course, the cutoff will be from November 28, at November 28 until May 28 of 2021. So that's 26 weeks running ng ating incentive trip program. All right? And this is one of the most exciting part. Last 5 weeks na po ng ating taon, no? So before we end 2020, let us maximize our remaining incentive trips na pwede nating mag-qualify. So first of all, we have the Asia Pacific Growth Incentive Trip in Sri Lanka. So that's a minimum of 15,000 CVP, no? For all of us, 15,000 CVP and above, no? If you were not able to hit the 15,000 CVP, which is for the level 1 for the Asia Pacific Growth Incentive Trip in Sri Lanka, you still have a chance to qualify for the Go for Growth Boracay in 2021. Imagine, napakabait ng USANA. If you're not able to make it to Sri Lanka, then you have a chance to join the incentive trip in Boracay. So that's a minimum of 14,999 pababa hanggang 8,000 CVP growth po. Then that's the time you will be considered or you will qualify for the Go for Growth in Boracay 2021. Remember, 8,000 to 14,999 CVP growth, you will be able to join the Boracay trip in 2021. Ayan. So, of course, do not forget to opt-in sa hub. For those of you who are not who has not been able to opt-in pa, do not forget to opt-in sa ating hub. If you want, kung talagang isa lang po yung opt-in option natin for the Go for Growth Boracay and the Asia Pacific Growth Incentive Trip in Sri Lanka. So you have to opt-in contest and events. You look for the Asia Pacific incentive trip. Asia Pacific. Oh, ayan. Ayan. So do not forget to opt in, dahil if you fail to opt in, then definitely you will not be able to join the incentive trip kahit pa nag-qualify ka, kahit pa you've reached the 8,000 to 14,999 growth or the 15,000 and up na growth. You will not be able to join this incentive trip if you were not able to opt-in. So, very important po yung pag-opt-in natin. Ayan. So, last 5 weeks. Okay, and of course, ito na yung pinakahihintay natin, So, the Team Up Step Up Taiwan in 2021, the big reveal. So, that will be on November 27. That's a Friday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, for those of you who are expecting, kung gusto nyong malaman kung anong level yung nakuha nyo for the Team Up Step Up Taiwan in 2021, then you should attend this training or you should attend this Zoom call para makita nyo po yung price nyo, yung pinaghirapan nyo for the year, for the 3 periods, ano yung magiging price ninyo or level ng ilan ang pwede nyong isama, lahat yon malalaman nyo dito sa big reveal ng ating Team Up Step Up Taiwan in 2021. Yan. So that's November 27, Friday at 4 p.m. And of course, we are, as early as now, we would like you to save the date for our USANA Grand Celebration. So our USANA Grand Celebration will be on February 7, 2021. So ito din ay isang virtual event, just like what we had last October. All right? So we are ticket selling, we are now starting to sell tickets, for this grand celebration. So single purchase is 350, and meron po tayong bundle which is a 10 plus 1, which is 3,500 pesos, Yan yung 10 plus 1 natin na bundle. And of course, meron tayong mga reminders, Tickets are available online and over the counter. You may purchase online and over the counter. Then, please be reminded that when you purchase a ticket, you will have a unique code, no, which will be sent to your email 1 week before the event. So it is very important that yung email address ninyo sa account ninyo or na naka-register sa Usana is the active email address, no? Kasi very important na ngayon yung email address. Doon na natin lahat binibigay yung mga codes for you to be able to join our virtual events. Okay? Your email and contact number should be updated sa system ng Usana. So, if ever hindi pa po updated, you can update your contact details, email address, phone numbers or cell phone numbers through the hub. Okay? Pwede po kayo ang mag-update niyan sa hub. And one code is good for one device only. So, para hindi na po ito bago dun sa mga naka-experience ng ating virtual event no last October. So, but this is going to be bigger, all right? So the theme for this event is Scaling New Heights, no? The Usana 2021 Virtual Grand Celebration Event. So please save the date, no? That's on February 7, 2021. And of course, another reminder, if you are a preferred consultant right now and you want to become an associate of Usana, gusto niya pong gawing business yung Usana, no? So you have the opportunity or you have the chance to qualify for the free business development system. No, this is a promotion for all PC or the preferred consultant. If you want to convert to an associate, you have to activate at least one business center within the promo period and you will enjoy the free BDS. So lahat ng registered preferred consultant as of November 14 may qualify, and this promotion already started November 15 and will run until January 2 of 2021. So lahat ng mga preferred consultant dyan, then the BDS is already free. No, if the same process, no, you will have to go through. If you're a preferred consultant, just like to reinforce, if you're a preferred consultant, then you want to be an associate. Kapag po same ang inyong sponsor, then after you have to terminate your PC account and enroll right away, no, as an associate if same ang sponsor. But then again, if iba po yung magiging sponsor, no, you have to wait for 30 days before you can enroll as an associate of Usana. So that's if you are a preferred consultant. All right. So let's move on to our main training this evening. Ayan. So I know all of you are very excited, no, and would really want to learn from tonight's training. So using setback to fuel success. Of course, this will be shared by our speaker for tonight. But before I give her the floor, no, to share her experience on using setbacks, no, para i-fuel ang kanyang success with Usana, let me just introduce her to you. Ayan. So our speaker for tonight is a former writer, no, in ABS-CBN, right? So she's also a former cabin crew at Cebu Pacific. 8 years siya naging lead cabin crew sa ating this very, very alam natin na airline, no? And she's also a professional event host. With Usana, she's a premier platinum pay setter. She also qualified for the Maldives incentive trip, no, leadership summit, and the Australia Great Barrier Australia travel qualifier. Ito yung sa Cairns, Australia, no, na Asia Pacific Growth Incentive Trip. So she also qualified for the top 23 quarterly growth circle in 2016. And the Million Peso Achiever, no, very consistent in 2017, 2018, and 2019. And a top 38 trimestral growth, no, in 2020. So guys, Usana family, let us all welcome our speaker for tonight, Ruby Director Michi Lantaho. Good evening, Michi.
Good evening, Ma'am Michelle. Pag Michelle po talaga, charming. Thank you so much, Ma'am Michelle, for that generous introduction. And Hi, hello world, and hello Yusana Pilipinas. Oh wow, diba? Very hosty, parang Pinoy Big Brother event. Kidding aside, guys, hello you guys and welcome, and nice to see our 808 participants in this, next series of the art of failing forward event for this weekend. Thank you, Yusana, for giving us this kind of trainings that really fuel us talaga to keep on going in our Yusana business. Now, even though it's pandemic, you are really giving us so much, kaya hindi talaga kami susuko because sobra yung support. And I also want to thank our corporate leaders, especially Ma'am Lisbeth, for inviting me and to, lahat po sila, because this is indeed a growth opportunity for me. So, yes, grabe, I'm kind of nervous. I feel the fear. I'm literally shaking right now. But firstly, let me just say to everybody po talaga that if you are tasked to do a certain thing, you just have to do it anyway because that's how you can counter fear and failure. Kasi that comes exposure and confidence. Can everybody type exposure in our chat box while I'm sharing the slides that I actually prepared for you guys tonight? All right, there you go. Exposure, exposure. So you're the next big thing. Definitely, ikaw naman yung magsasalita dito. So aim mo yung exposure na yan. All right. So my slides is already showing. So let's get started. Guys, my name is Michi Lantajo. So my full name is Michelle. Okay, Michelle Cruz Lantajo. Please do call me Michi. So a little background of myself po. We are 6 members in the family. There you go. I have 3 beautiful sisters and I am the youngest. So yan po, yung by the arrows. Ako po yung pinakabata pero mukhang hindi bata kasi medyo malaki talaga akong babae. So all of my sisters are married already. Ako na lang po yung single. Well, not yet married. Kaya all eyes po talaga ng pamilya nasa akin po talaga. And alam niyo po, mula bata, I feel that I'm kind of different to my sisters. Or I might say, I always choose to be different. So, example na lang po, no? I studied and graduated in PUP. Pwede po bang sumigaw ang mga scholar ng bayan? Ayan, sabi, tawag po namin dyan, PUP pinagpala, di ba? Para mga pinagpalang mag-aaral. That's how we say it actually. So, paano ko masasabing I'm kind of different, no, by studying in PUP? Kasi all of my sisters studied in one school. It's in OLFU. So all of them actually took up medical courses as well. While, no, ako po, I took up mass communication, bachelor in broadcast communication. So they studied very near in our home. I studied very far. I live in Farview. So mga taga Farview po dyan. So alam nyo, just to explain lang and objectify gaano po yan kalayo. Paglabas ko po ng bahay, kailangan ko po sumakay ng tricycle. Pagdating ng kanto, mag-jeep. Pagdating po sa jeep, no, kailangan bumaba sa SM. Tapos mag-FX po ako doon. Pagdating sa FX, no, i-bear ko yung traffic and all. Pagdating sa Cubao, mag-LRT. O, sa mga taga-PUPians, it's either bababa ka sa Teresa or sa Poreza, tapos magpipedicab ka pa doon, papasok sa sa building mo. Alam nyo guys, all of the transportation po talaga na sasakyan ko nung college. Grabe lang. And, di ba, who would have thought, guys, nakakatawa. Pati po ang eroplano na sakyan ko ng paulit-ulit. So, barko na lang. Okay. Anyhow, I always feel, and wanna be different. Kasi mula pa lang po nung bata ako, I'll share that story to you guys later on. But I wanna be, I'm really looking for myself. I'm in pursuit of really who I am. Kasi nabully po ako nung bata. So, ikwento ko yan later. But moving forward, I found myself in dancing. So parang hindi po to alam ng many people. Akala nila yung skill ko talaga is hosting. But my first love is dancing and performing. In fact, here, ayan. So, if you know Chicago, okay, nagte-theater play po tayo dati. So, wag po tayo mag-sample kasi nakakahiya naman po. Anyhow, iba-iba yan from dancing to theater and also to modeling. So, siguro, let me say that I'm in that kind of my life, time of my life rather, that I really am looking a platform in expressing myself, wherein I can express myself. So, ayan, marami po akong sinubukan na papunta sa stardom, pero syempre, ikakwento rin natin mamaya yan, so hang in there. Pero yung exposure ko po actually, basically brought me to aviation industry. I became a flight attendant in Cebu Pacific for 8 long years. Naging lead cabin crew din po ako doon. At nagturo rin po ako sa mga pilots for a certain subject. It's called CRM. Pero yung pagiging flight attendant ko po kasi, it evolved, no? Na-discover po ko ng Cebu Pacific as one of the dancing flight attendants. Di ba? Yung craze before. Nakita nyo ba yon sa mga YouTube? So, isa po tayo dyan. But anyhow, Cebu Pacific is sending me abroad to host their marketing events. So, yan, lagi po ako nag-host like mga OFW events in Hong Kong. So, joke ako ng mga friends ko before, ito yung statement nila. Akala ko flight attendant ka, artista pala. Kasi for the first 2 years I've been with Cebu Pacific, hindi ako masyadong lumilipad. So, special assignment siya actually. And then, yeah. So, yun po yung ginagawa ko. Puro hosting. But I'm so thankful that I realized that I have a thing in hosting or speaking. And so, I made it as a career. So, that is why I became a professional event host because I attended different seminars po, certifications here and there. And my breakthrough po actually last year for events industry, kung saan parang every single week I have a wedding event, like Saturday, Sunday, debuts, christening, and even press con and PBA, and even mall shows. So nagkaroon din po tayo ng kaunting mga stint with mga celebrities, ganyan. I really did enjoy that. But alam nyo guys, with all of the hats that I am wearing, my favorite hat still being a coach and a health advocate in USANA. So I'm also one of your Ruby directors in USANA Philippines. So that's my background, very quick background, guys. But having said all of those, it looks colorful, it looks fun, it looks just okay. Parang smoothly done, no? Wow. Yun, nakita niya yung passion niya and everything. But the big question is, did I fail along the way? Tingin nyo, guys. Perfect, diba? Siyempre hindi. Rather, hindi perfect. Siyempre, oo naman. I failed, no? Maraming moments that I cried, maraming moments na trying hard ka, maraming moments na nadapa. Actually, that's how I want to start with the training to you guys, no? Let me ask you a question. What is failure for you? Please pause and reflect on that big question. What is failure for you? How many of you here fail in school, guys? Can you please go to your chat box and type I? Kung nag-fail ka sa school in one way or another, ayan. Sige, another question. How many of you here, guys, failed at a job interview? Type I. Yung bumagsak ka, paulit-ulit, hindi mo pa rin nakuha talaga. Next, in USANA context naman, how many of you have failed, in getting your goals? On a weekly basis, on a 13-week run, diba? Type I. Ito yung very interesting question I have for you guys. Now, how many of you here failed in love life? Sino po dito ang single? Malamig ang Pasko. Ayan, umuulan ng ay. Okay. So, alam nyo na, yung tutulong sa inyo para ma-resolve yung problema niya sa malamig ang Pasko, yung mga iba ring nag-type ng ay. And then, anyhow, just kidding, no? But on a serious note, guys, listen to this. If you have noticed, marami po sa inyo ang sumagot talaga ng ay. Simply because you have to really remember that failure is normal. Failure will always be there. Failure is gonna be here and there. Andyan siya talaga. Diba? Failure is indeed not an enemy of success. It's actually a part of success. So, dadaanan mo siya talaga. But I have a question, another question. Diba? First question natin, guys, what is failure for you? But another question is, when it comes to failure, what do you think, guys, the difference between winners and losers? Sige nga, can I have a very meaty answer from our crowd tonight? Gusto ko yung sumasagot na crowd. Alam niyo na, hosty tayo. Quit! Ayan! Okay, okay, winners never quit. Nice. Okay, losers easily quit. Okay, mindset, nice. So I really like all of those answers you have are definitely correct. But let me just say, when it comes to failure, on my perspective, the big difference talaga of winners and losers is that how they respond to failure. Let me repeat that. How they respond to failure. Alam nyo kasi, guys, in this world, yung sad part po kasi talaga is that we're not trained to fail. How can I say so? Sa school kasi, guys, we were taught to avoid failure and mistakes. Yes or yes. Diba? Pag nagkamali ka, alam mo na, pwede kang mapagalitan, diba? Pwede mo ibagsak yung exam, diba? Pwede ka mapalabas ng classroom, diba? So we're not really trained to fail. But you know what, guys? In real life, we must, let me say that once again, we must commit mistakes or failure in order to succeed. So magkaiba pala talaga. Now, that is why some people, they don't want failure. Kasi hindi yun yung programming sa atin talaga. And also, no, in school, guys, have you noticed we're always punished when we fail? Yes or yes? Na-mention ko na yan kanina. But you know what? In life, in reality, after college, after you graduated, when you go out there, did you know that every time you fail, you are rewarded? We are rewarded every time we fail. Why? Because guys, no, very simple lang naman. Failure, remember this, is where all the lessons are. That is why that's your greatest reward. You learn from it. Correct? So speaking of that lessons and all that, we'll get through that later on. But according to John Maxwell, this is his major recommendation for people who's really trying to succeed. You have to fail early, fail often, but always fail forward. Diba? Sabihin mo yan ng malakas sa sarili mo right now while listening to me. And I have a very, detailed, fair share, actually, of failing early in my life. Okay? So, basically, yan yung share ko sa inyo, and let me relate that to Yuzana context later on, but I'm pretty sure you can relate to this. Let's start with my elementary days. Alam nyo guys, ang nakikita kasi natin normally kung ano na yung tao, right? Confident siya and all that, but did you know that I was bullied when I was young? I actually developed inferiority complex to the point na ang alam ko po sa sarili ko, I'm fat rather, I'm ugly, mahina yung pickup ko, sorry po for the term, but I'm bobo. But I think hindi naman talaga ako bobo talaga in totality. It's just that takot na takot ako sa lahat ng bagay, which I do not understand why. Meron akong anxiety attack to the point that I hated school. Hindi po ako pumapasok sa school hanggat hindi po ako sasamahan ng mga kapatid ko. Grabe ba yon? Alam niyo po ba na yung mga sisters ko, they will sit down beside me inside the classroom para lang po makinig ako sa teacher. It happened for how many years? And I remember, my sister Marge is actually tuned in right now. There was an incident, grabe lang talaga, that yung sister ko po, pinagalitan siya kasi she was the one answering my quizzes kasi hindi ko magets. Hindi ko talaga magets yung lesson and everything. Sabi niya, huy, kailangan na nating umuwi, tayo na lang natira. So, ina-answer niya na yung quizzes ko. So, at a young age, it was so traumatic to me. Ang pangit lang ng feeling na ayaw mong pumasok sa school. And I believe, at that time, wala talagang people na merong naniniwala sa akin at gusto ako. But, okay, remember the word but. Alam mo guys, we have to be thankful with buts in our lives because that's when God comes in. But, okay, ano yung but moment mo, Kasi, even though I was bullied, ano yung but? I realized the value of family. I realized that my core is my family, that I cannot live without them. Na parang sabi ko, ito talaga makakampi ko to habang buhay. So I realized talaga the value of family. Kaya I always tell this to all of my friends that I'm so in love with my family. So there, high school days came. So we struggled financially actually, and we transferred in public school. So I vividly remember, ito pong mga moment na to. My mom kasi, meron siyang palengke sa ng business. Ayan. So magbababoy siya. And yung palengke po kasi nasunog siya at that time. So naghirap talaga kami. And when it rained, it pours. Nagkaroon po ako ng dengue. So ako po kasi medyo sakitin talaga ako. So, buti na lang nakilala ko talaga si Yuzana. So anyhow, I was hospitalized because of parang dengue, H fever. And then, ang laki talaga ng binayaran sa ospital. So, yung mga natitirang savings ng parents ko, ganyan. So, talagang nagamit siya and everything. And sobrang hirap ng buhay. Sabay-sabay pa nag-aaral yung mga kapatid ko at that time. And I vividly remember one thing, na talagang, grabe to. My mom had to clean the house of my lola para lang po talaga makakain kami. Para lang bigyan niya kami ng bigas, okay? And as a sense naman ng dad ko, sa story naman ng dad ko, grabe, merong isang gabi that we had to wait for our dad kasi magdadala siya ng noodles, sang noodles guys tapos ang gagawin ng mom ko, lalagyan niya ng water yon, napakadaming tubig, asin, para magkasya sa aming 6 na mag-anak. So I was really contemplating at that time. Sabi ko, grabe, wala kaming 2 piso. Kasi magkano ba yung noodles pag binili mo sa tindahan? So we had to wait for our dad pa, para lang makakain kami. But you know what, guys? I realized, ano naman yung but moment ko doon? Okay? I gained friends. When I transferred in public school, opo, loser po ako kung yan po ang iniisip nyo. Loser when I was in elementary. I gained friends na parang, ay, ang babait na mga tao dito, kinakausap nila ako, uy, grabe, I'm tanggap, hindi po ako out of place, ganyan. And I learned the value of money. I remember also when I'm doing Yuzana part-time as a flight attendant, every after flight, ginagawa ko po si Yuzana, walang mintis, 1 oras, 2 oras. Tapos bibiruin ako ng mga co-flight attendants ko, sasabihin nila, friend, ilan ang pinapaaral? Okay, mga ganyan. Maraming anak na pinapaaral, karir kong karir, kuratsa, mga ganyan. But you know what, guys, one thing I really want to explain to them is that kasi hindi talaga forever yung work. And I realized that because my dad and mom, when they lost their jobs, nung nawalan lahat sa amin, nung naghirap talaga kami. So, kaya ngayon paulit-ulit na sinasabi sa atin na active income, passive income, I really know that ever since naiintindihan ko siya because I have my fair share of, mahirap na buhay with that. So, naintindihan ko yung value ng money. Come to college days, guys, I was called it big time. Freshman ako kasi meron akong poor communication skills. Imagine, nagpasok ka na ng mass comm, bachelor ka ng broadcast communication, tapos I was asked by our teacher talaga, simple question lang. Parang get to know question lang siya. Tapos hindi ko makumpleto yung isang buong sentence. And I was so disappointed with myself. So, sorry, pero my teacher talaga told me that I'm stupid at that time. Pero ano naman yung but moment ko, guys? No? Ano yung but moment ko? Maybe ito rin yung but moment mo. I told myself, this is it. Can you tell that to yourself, guys? This is it. So, alam mo, ito yung this is it moment ko talaga. Sabi ko, grabe naman. Hanggang college, nabubuli ako. Bakit ganon? Sabi ko talaga sa sarili ko, anong mali? Ano bang meron sa akin? So nasabi ko talaga, ang tanda ko na. Lagi pa rin akong napapagalitan. Alam mo yun, parang balagong ka pa rin sa school and all that. So I have in my head, that I have to change. Sana ito rin yung this is it moment mo, dapat mag-change ka na. And if it won't challenge you, guys, it will never change you. I intentionally grew my communication skills because I'm a mass comm student at that time. So I want to focus on really about my communication skills. So I actually have a blue book. It's my secret. So you can actually have that secret, thing as well, to improve your communication skills. Everything in my head, I write it down in my notebook. And then what I do, I say it out loud in front of the mirror. As I attended seminars, I asked some mentors in public speaking, and yung bot moment ko is that I unleashed the public speaker in me. So yun po yung nangyari. Actually, nag-graduate pa ako ng college na nagde-debate na ako, ganun. From a person na nabully, From a person na takot sa school. So my favorite word actually in Yuzana is intentionality. Diba? How intentional you are in growing yourself in this business. After college, okay, transferred from one job to another. Remember I told you guys that I'm in pursuit of really looking for who I am. Di ko alam kung sino talaga ako, guys. I'm really struggling. Yung identity crisis ganyan, napagdaanan ko po siya talaga. So wala akong matinong trabaho, dalawang buwan lang, 3 buwan, andyan, tapos magka-transfer na ako ulit, ganyan. Tapos, I realized, ano ba talaga yung gusto ko? Tinatanong ko laging sarili ko, ano ba talaga? What's my purpose? Ano ba yung significance ko talaga? Ano ba yung gusto mo talagang gawin ko, Lord? I always asking myself, kasi lagi akong dissatisfied sa job. Pero alam nyo guys, even, may mga frustration akong ganyan. One thing, I realized my bot moment at that time is I gain experience. Type mo ngayon, experience. Remember guys, it is always, parang lagi na siyang sinasabi. But yes, it's so true. Experience is the best teacher. Diba? Marami akong naranasan in all different industries I actually got myself into. And alam niyo guys, meron din po akong celebrity wannabe days. Diba? Hinahanap ko nga yung sarili ko. Sabi ng mami ko, bayan, wala ka matinong trabaho, mag-artista ka na nga lang. Sayaw ka naman ng sayaw, ganyan. So, this was the story, guys. I audition in Starstruck Batch 4. Nakapasok po tayo. Okay, but just in final 40. So, ito na po yung moment na in-announce na yung final 14. So, na-commercial pa ako noon. So, marami na po nangyari. So, tini-TV talaga siya. But you know what, guys? Isang step na lang, artista ka na, natanggal pa ako, guys. So, di ba? Final 14! Hindi lang yun, guys. I also audition in PBB hanggang finals ulit. Bligwak doon na sa tatanggapin na yung magiging artista. PDA, naman, I tried that. Diba? Feeling singer. And also, guys, I even audition in as a host in Wawawi. I actually reached the final screening. Ang kalaban ko na si Valerie. So imagine, artista naman yun. So syempre si Valerie yung kukunin. May goodness naman at that time. Natanggap ako, guys. Dancer doon sa Wawaw. Okay. Pero hindi ko na pinush kasi hindi yun yung pinaka-goal ko at that time. But in short, guys, no, I'm always one step away from stardom. Pero ano yung bot moment natin, guys, no? When God would really come in. My bot moment is that I gain exposure. Very important yung exposure. So, because of exposure, no, marami akong na-discover and na-unleash talaga sa sarili ko. So, sabi ng mommy ko, huwag ka na mag-artista. Okay? Ang dami mo nang tinry, hindi ka pa ba napapagod? Ganyan. Siyempre, napagod din tayo. So, sabi niya, gawin niyo na lang yung isa kong gusto pa para sa'yo. Sabi niya, mag-flight attendant ka na lang. So, ano pong nangyari? Guys, took me years and 3 attempts to make it. My first attempt in Cebu Pacific, thousands of people lined up outside Cebu Pacific office. Grabe, guys. When it's my turn that I had to, yung screening lang, titignan ka, iikot ka, lalakad. Guys, natanggal yung sapatos ko, guys. Diba? Siguro sa pagod na, sa pila and all, and yung sapatos ko naman, yung mga 3 tumpok, ganyan. Siyempre, ganun lang yung mga kaya nating bilhin dati. Di ba, mga 3 tumpok na mga sapatos dyan. So, siyempre, pagpasok ko, hindi ako makagalaw. Sabi sa akin, okay, move forward and then turn around, mga ganyan. Tapos sabi ko, I can't move, ma'am. Yung pala, sira yung sapatos ko. So, of course, I didn't make it because they're actually thinking that I did not prepare for it. Second attempt, no, Qatar Airways. So, bigger goal, bigger dream. So, I applied and thousands and thousands of people also lined up in a hotel naman. And nakapasok po ako sa top 10. Imagine mo, no, lagi na lang po akong one step away talaga. Top 10. And alam nyo guys, grabe lang. 9 of them flew to Qatar. Naiwan po ako. Ako lang hindi natanggap. Diba? Saklap. Ligwak. Okay. Imagine, ako lang. So sabi ko, sige, baka pang local airlines tayo. I tried again in Cebu Pacific. My third attempt as a flight attendant. Alam nyo guys, natanggap naman tayo. Okay, kasi third attempt na, sanay ka na eh. Yan nga yung sinasabi ko sa inyo guys na exposure, experience, and sometimes you really have to do that. You really have to master a certain thing talaga para makuha mo talaga yung goal mo. So it will not happen basically overnight ang mga goals natin. Pero if you keep on doing it, it became a habit, palagi-lagi mo na. So syempre nung ini-interview ako, galing ko na, diba? Nung yung pormahan and itsurahan, magaling ka na. In fact, nakapasok ako sa Setbacks, I even graduated as the valedictorian of our batch and na-discover nga ako kung ano-ano pagpasok ko sa Cebu Pacific. But you know what? Yung perfect bot moment talaga na worth it, worth the wait talaga, guys. Can you ask me what? Okay, can you please rain what there? Okay, nakikita ko po ang mga chat niyo. The worth the wait there, nabuti na lang tinodo ko talaga yung pag-a-apply kasi I met Miss Ateli Avena. Kaya pala hindi ako tumigil. Who is she, guys? No? She's my direct sponsor in Cebu Pacific. Okay. I rather in Yuzana. She's my direct sponsor in Yuzana. I met her in Cebu Pacific. So she's also a co-flight attendant. Okay. I will not definitely go into details of my setbacks dito po and what I'm having in Yuzana. Pero bibigyan ko kayo ng tips on how you can really be resilient. Okay? Kasi hahaba po tayo. But I'm really happy na meet ko siya. I'm just so grateful, guys, that, you know, if I did not say yes to Miss Ateli few years back, I might probably one of those flight attendants who lost their jobs today. If I did not say yes to Miss Ateli few years back, okay, ano kayang mangyayari sa akin? I might probably, no, yung mga isa talaga na lungkot right now kasi talagang yun lang yung inaasahan nila. Marami po, 22 years in flying, they lost their jobs. 17 years in flying, they lost their jobs. So, I really think I planted the right seed in my life. Buti na lang talaga. And in fact, this is a very remarkable picture for me because we celebrated my retirement, diba? Retiring young. So, 4 years, nag-part-time po ako sa Cebu Pacific, Yuzana, pero flight attendant pa rin ako in Cebu Pacific. So, we celebrated that. And then, imagine, together, we're getting our Plaque of Million Awards here. And nag-grow po yung family ng aviation. And I think, yan yung pinaka-masarap sa feeling, no? Kasi po, marami na pong pumapasok na from aviation. So, kung marami pong taga-aviation dyan, kaway-kaway naman. Kasi normally, we hear from CPAs, engineers, nurses. So it has been my dream na sana marinig naman nila piloto yung nagtutalk, di ba, flight attendant. So anybody, kasi I always believe when you are inside the aviation industry, you are meant to fly. So hi, Joni. Yan. Joni is from an international airline as well. So yeah, so that's how I indeed use all my setbacks to that fuel my success. But if I have to give you guys a rundown of all the learnings I got and I am having even at the moment, okay? Ito po yung iwan ko sa inyo, no? You have to keep it real. If you want to be successful in this world, you have to keep it real. Can you please type it in there in our chat box? Keep it real. Okay? So may mga meaning po yan per letter. And this is what I want to leave to you guys, the gem I want to really, I want you to really embrace, no? And sana ito yung ma-take home mo talaga sa talk ko for today. Okay? So, let's begin with letter R. Reframe. Okay? Reframe. Okay, R stands for reframe. Number 1, guys, all failures are reframed as good tries. Okay. Example, inviting. Nag-i-invite ka sa Yuzana. Okay. Sinin zone ka. Then, don't think that it's a failure. It's actually about trying. You have to assess and adjust, di ba? Kasi the biggest risk is not even taking a risk, tama ba? So, ibig sabihin, if you want to fail easily, don't try. Don't do it, okay? So, don't think failure as failure. It's just a good try, right? Number 2, guys, there are no mistakes, just lessons. Once again, there are no mistakes, just lessons. Alam nyo guys, successful people fail a lot. Pero for them, there's no such thing as negative experience. For them, it's just an opportunity to grow. And they're really after learning the self-mastery. Nandun po talaga sila sa ima-master nila yung craft. Magko-quit lang yan, titigil lang yan pag tapos na. Diba? They will just, stop when it's done. Diba? Yun talaga yung goal. And they see struggle, okay, as an opportunity to magnify their strength. Because even pain can be a wonderful teacher. So there are no mistakes, guys. It's just lessons, okay? Number 3, a lesson is repeated unless you learn it. Do you hear that? A lesson is repeated unless you learn it. So siguro ilagay natin ito sa konteksto ng hindi mo pa ulit-ulit nakukuha yung goals mo sa iyo sana. Diba? Bakit? Hanggat hindi mo tinignan yung root cause why you're not getting that goal, okay, that lesson will be put into waste because you're not learning something from it. In fact, sabi pa nga dito about reframing, if you don't learn that easy lesson, it will be harder. So kapag hindi ka intentional in seeking, ano ba yung lesson, ano ba tinuturo ni Lord sa akin sa moment na to? Aba, sabihin ni Lord sa'yo, no? Bring it on, ibibigay niya sa lahat sa'yo hanggang dapang-dapa ka na. Diba? I have a friend actually na lose niya yung job niya and ang daming nawala sa buhay niya. And then sabi ng isa kong pastor na friend, hanggat hindi niya nalalearn yung lesson niya, okay, isasagad ni Lord yan. Right? If you don't learn that easy lesson, then it will be harder. But you know what, guys, about reframing, what I have learned in my Yusana business is that you know and you will know that you have learned that lesson when your action changes. Nagkamali ka, hindi mo na close yung deal, hindi mo na follow up, you didn't hit the goal. But instead of you quitting, instead of you mag-fetal position at hindi mo na siya ginawa, you actually act more. Diba? You invited more people. You intentionally talk to many people. And then you practice, shoot, and then you learn. Diba? Makikita mo, that's when I can really say that you have learned the lesson. Diba? And that's about letter R and reframing your failures. What is the next one, guys? It's about examine. So, hindi po to exam. Walang test. But you know what? It's my favorite. My favorite part of this training, the examine part. Kasi number 1, we're normally beating ourselves up if we fail. Tama? You're too hard to yourself. You're too harsh to yourself. Na parang, wala talaga. Hindi ko talaga kaya. Mahirap talaga to. Alam niyo guys, don't beat yourself up, but seek clarity. Diba? Clarity always comes, pag may clarity, nandyan ang prosperity. If clear sa'yo yung mga dapat mong gawin, pag clear sa'yo ang destination mo, pag clear sa'yo ang goal mo, diba? Mas madali siyang makuha. Sabi nga, if something goes wrong, diba, you have to check ano bang nangyari. Same goes pag nanalo ka or nakakuha ka ng goal. Assess mo siya, examine mo siya. What did I do? Bakit ba nakuha ko yung $600 goal ko this week. You assess, you sit down, diba? Have a me time, and then assess mo talaga, these are the activities I had, diba? And this is what I need to do again. Diba? Same goes pag nagkamali ka. Kapag hindi mo na-reach yung goal, diba? Sit down, have a me time, reflect, diba? Seek clarity, what did I do wrong? Diba? Instead of you just nalulungkot lang tayo, kailangan tignan mo yung proseso na ginawa mo beforehand. Diba? Before nangyari sa'yo yung certain failure na yon. And another thing, no, if you're not willing daw kasi ito, magkadugtong yung one and two. If you're not willing to look at your part, you'll always be the victim. Napansin nyo ba guys, no, maraming tao na blinded kasi sila, yung I don't know, pero of course, in my Usana journey, maraming moment na binlame ko yung mentor ko. Sabi ko sa kanya, ikaw kasi may kasalanan, hindi ka kasi sumipot nung may presentation ako. I forgot it's my business. So sabi ko, hindi ka kasi magaling mag-present. O, diba? Mga ganyan. So sabi ko, parang I'm always thinking, I am the victim. Remember guys, no, here in Usana, those people having a victim mindset will remain as a victim. Ang goal po natin dito, no, is to definitely have that victor mindset. Kasi those best people are not best by default. Okay, listen to this. Okay? Those best people are not best by default. Those people na best are best because they fought. Lumaban po yan. Diba? And one way to really fight is to do self-assess. Kailangan mong tignan yung sarili mo. If you're really looking for one person na magpapayaman sa'yo, okay, tumingin ka sa mirror. Kasi if there is one person na kailangan mong baguhin, ikaw yon. I always say this, you are your greatest secret weapon. Pwede mo bang sabihin yan sa sarili mo right now? You are your greatest secret weapon. Number 3, for examine part, try to differentiate the things you can control and things you cannot control. So ito po, reality check, no? Maraming bagay na hindi ka makokontrol, pero mas maraming bagay na kaya mo rin kontrolin. Alam mo, and ang real talk, ang isang bagay na kaya mong kontrolin, si Usana. Kaya mong kumuha talaga ng goals dito if you are willing to work hard on it. Kaya mo talagang mag-rank advance if you are very focused, diba? Giving 100% of your energy and time, diba? This is something you cannot control. Diba? Kaya nga kung sabi nga nung talk namin last time, I'll just give a shout out to Mentor Jola Avelia. If you're having a holiday syndrome right now, diba? You can definitely control that. Holiday syndrome meaning gusto mo magpahinga ngayon, diba? Hindi ka nakakahit ng goals mo. And let me remind you guys, no, considering na 5 weeks na lang po tayo, instead of you thinking 5 weeks na lang, you think 5 weeks pa. Okay? Sabihin mo yan, 5 weeks pa. Maraming pwedeng mangyari in 5 weeks, guys. Kaya better to really go and ask for feedback right now to your mentors, to your trusted advisors, diba? And ensure na you're getting a full perspective. Kasi minsan at madalas, you are full of yourself. You don't see yourself as someone na ikaw yung nagkakamali. Lagi tayo nagbe-blame. Okay, kasi, wala kasi kaming training about this eh. Wala kasing willing mag-present, ganyan. Okay. But one thing is for sure, no? If you are going to talk to your mentors about this, about your business, you can see a different perspective. And that's the role of our mentors and coaches as well. And sabi nga, sa Leaders Lead book, no, if you really wanted to win, you have to be open to communicate, diba, to those leaders that you emulate. Meaning, kausapin mo yung mga tao na nandoon na, nakarating na doon, huwag kang mahiya. Di ba? Huwag kang magtago kasi that's really the way to go. Yes, right mindset talaga. Next, letter A. Okay, so refrain, examine, and of course, accept. Okay, ito maganda to guys. No? Number 1, you have to be prepared for failure. Bibigyan ko kayo ng example. Halimbawa, may isang sundalo and then, pumunta siya sa gera. Okay, have you noticed, guys, no, ang isang sundalo will not go to a gera without different kinds of guns. May kutsilyo pa yan, may grenade pa. Bakit, guys? Because there are actually, after and putting a space for failure. They know that in one way or another, they will miss a shot. In one way or another, mauubos ang bala. In one way or another, baka hindi mag-work yung isa nilang gun. So they're really prepared for failure. How about you? Are you prepared for failure every time you're running a goal? Diba? Because that's really the way to go. Diba? Kung feeling mo, okay, gusto mo talaga makakuha ng isang goal in a week, diba? You have to really check your batting average. Hindi pwedeng 2 lang ang kausapin mo, 3 lang. It's really a number game. And to begin with naman, no, we are really sharing Yuzana to people because it's a blessing and it's meant to be shared. Kaya nga dapat damihan mo pa. Be brave, no? Go out there kasi tayo yung mga trained na people to really help people not with the products that we are selling but to give them the big word which is hope. Diba? Hope talaga ang binibenta natin. And of course, take responsibility when failure happens. Ano bang ibig sabihin nito, guys? May kwento ako. May dalawang matanda na nagda-drive, si Cora at si Senya. Si Cora was the one driving and Senya was on the passenger seat. So, on the road, si Senya, nakita niya, nilagpasan ni Cora yung traffic light na red light. So sabi niya, naku, bakit ganun? Lumagpas. And then tumingin lang siya kay Cora, but Cora was, very focused, driving lang siya. And then on the second traffic light, red light ulit, sabi ni Senya, titignan ko nga kung lalagpasan niya to. Nilagpasan ulit ni Cora. So parang wait lang. Wait lang, baka madisgrasya na talaga kami. So aabangan ko na yung next stoplight. And of course, kakausapin ko na siya. So come the third stoplight, and then andun na yung red light. So lumagpas ulit si Cora, guys. Okay. So, kinausap niya na si Cora. Sabi niya, Cora, alam mo, sure talaga ako. 3 stoplight, okay? 3 stoplight, nilagpasan mo. Hindi ka nag-stop. So, ang mangyayari niyan, baka madisgrasya talaga tayo. And lo and behold, guys, slowly tumingin si Cora sa kanya ganyan, no? Dahan-dahan. Tinignan niya si Senya in her eyes. And then she said, "Ay, ako pala yung nagda-drive." Yung sa tananda na ba niya, guys, nakalimutan niya na siya na nagda-drive. But on a serious note, guys, no, what's the real lesson, rather, for that very short story? Most of the time, in our lives, in our business, in Yusana business, you're forgetting that you are actually the driver. That you are holding the steering wheel and that you can make a difference. That you're holding the steering wheel in which you can correct some mistakes. Diba? In short, you're not taking responsibility talaga when failure happens. Okay? So, taking charge talaga. Yes, ownership, like you said. So, marami pong moments na ako, personally, nakalimutan ko yon. Ako nga pala nagda-drive ng negosyo ko, no? Ako nga pala yung CEO dito, ba't ba inaasa ko siya sa iba? Ako nga pala yung, alam mo yon, ako nga pala yung driver. Ito na pala yung lahat, no? Provided na, the steering wheel, the gear, and all that. So, I just have to drive. Tama? So, that's the number 2 in accept. What is number 3 then? Failure is a massive part of being able to be successful, and you have to be comfortable with failure. You actually have to seek failure. It's very easy to understand, no? Massive part talaga ng success is that marami ka dapat failure. Okay? Kasi, again, failure are where the lessons are. Alright? You actually have to seek failure. So you can adjust your action, you can be strong, diba? Hindi mo pwedeng i-avoid siya. Right? And lastly, feel the fear, but fail anyway. So sino po dito natatakot mag-fail? Okay. Yes, raise your hand. Aba, wala. Lahat matapang na. Ganyan talaga, no? Basta Yusana. Oh, okay. May mga natatakot. Yeah, it's okay. Alam nyo guys, no? Bad news, fear will always be there. Ulitin ko guys, fear will always be there. But the goodness is, okay, even though you cannot remove that, you can tolerate that. You can manage that. You can even turn fear to energy. Di ba natatakot ka, naku, hindi ko mahihit yung PPPS, di ba? Instead of you being so fearful because you don't hit the PPPS, di ba? Wala na lang, wala kang ginawa. Dahil nga takot na takot ka, nag-action ka tuloy. You get the point, diba? Does it make sense? Turn the fear, diba, into energy and feel the fear. And if you fail, just do it again, diba? Do it one more time, diba? And then that's the time you can correct the mistake or you can hit a goal, right? And lastly, okay, I'm sorry if I really speak fast, okay, at sobrang energetic. I hope you guys are learning. Are you still learning? Can you type yes? Para medyo ma-fuel naman ako. Ayan. Yes, okay, great. Okay, last is, of course, what do you think the letter L, guys? Just to have, medyo konting interaction lalo sa inyo, guys. What do you think the letter L is? What is letter L? Love. Okay, learn. Leader. Love you. May nag-love you. Lesson. Love. Okay, puro love, Okay, it's actually leverage. Everybody say leverage. Okay. Leverage rather. Lavan. Okay. I like that. Lavan. Okay. Leverage. Okay, yes, leverage is the answer. Number one, for leverage, successful people do not define failure as the opposite of success. They define failure as the opposite of trying. Diba? If you do not try, how will you know if you can do it, right? How will you know if it's for you if you don't try? How will you know if you can hit a goal if you don't do your best? How will you know if you can be a diamond director if you don't really try to be a sharer? Di ba? Dadaanan mo yung lahat, di ba? Mahalin mo nga daw ang $25 because your action with your $25 is your action with your 1 million pesos. Right? Di ba? They don't treat failure as the opposite of success. It's actually the opposite of trying. Diba? Leverage, diba? Failure, diba? Kailangan may makuha kang lesson dyan. Successful people are brave enough to embrace fear. I really like this one. And smart enough to give it too much power. Not to give too much power. Ibig sabihin, ano yung nagmamagnify? Sa mga successful people, it's not the fear. Ang nagmamagnify sa kanila are definitely their dreams. Diba? Hindi nila binibigyan ng so much power yung negativities. Wala, dadaan lang yan. Okay, hindi nag-sign up? Okay, medyo nakaka-receive ka ng mga negativities around. Okay, daanan mo lang yan. Kasi dapat na nagmamagnify in your heart, your mind, and soul are your destinations or are your dreams. Right? And number 3, successful people decide that failure is indeed an option so they get comfortable with discomfort. Sa iba kasi guys, di ba, pag nahihirapan na sila, it's time to end it. Ayoko na, hindi talaga para sa akin to. Magkukwit na talaga ako. Ito talaga, sabi ko na talaga, hindi talaga para sa akin to. Magkukwit na talaga ako. Diba? But you know what? For successful people, pag nahihirapan na sila, ay alam nila, malapit na sila sa tagumpay. Diba? It's like climbing up a mountain. Diba? They know that they are really having a hard time. They're too tired. Their legs are aching. They know that they're actually about to see the peak of the mountain. And they know that the view up there is better kesa sa baba. They know na mas maganda yung makikita nilang view and it's so satisfying. That's why they keep on really pushing themselves. Diba? Malapit ka na kasi, kaya nahihirapan ka. Meron ba ditong malapit na kasi, kaya nahihirapan na? In short lang guys, kung medyo nagugulan ka sa leverage na to, ito lang yan. The number 4. Claim your ROI or return of investment per failure. Di ba nahirapan ka sa failure? Di ba iniyakan mo yan? Di ba naglupasay ka, friend? Di ba nawalan ka ng kaibigan? Di ba maraming taong nawalan ng trust sa'yo? Di ba parang feeling mo out of place ka na din return, no? I rather claim your return of investment there. Kailangan may makuha ka from failure na yan. Kailangan, no, may mangyari sa'yo. Kailangan mag-grow ka from the failure na yan. Diba? Claim your ROI. So kaya remember lang guys, no, this is really what I want you to really keep in your hearts and minds for this training on how you can really use your setbacks to fuel your success. You just have to keep it real. Diba? Kasi sa buhay talaga, kaya totohanan lang. Kailangan mo lang i-refrain yung failure mo, mag-examine ka, tanggapin mo na mag-fail ka talaga. Diba? And then leverage and claim your ROI per failure. So I hope you can have this language with you because it has been my language ever since I have learned this, no? Sabi ko, I have to keep it real. I always talk to myself, nag-fail na naman ako, then I have to keep it real. Diba? Naku, miss goal na naman. Sige, Lord, I will have to keep it real. Diba? In Tagalog, ganun talaga. Ganyan talaga. May makukuha talaga akong ganito. Pero may meaning tayo ng real dyan. And it's refrain, examine, accept, and leverage. And for me, fail talaga stands for future always involves learning. So what is failure for you? That is why, no, malapit na po akong matapos. That is why we started by really identifying or defining the failure or fail. So as for me, fail is future always involves learning. Just accept the fact that if you don't learn, you don't really succeed. If you don't learn, you will not really grow, diba? It's really indeed part of the process. Some people, they curse the process. May I suggest not for you to curse the process kasi may proseso kang pagdadaanan because the process is the purpose. You will realize your purpose why you are in here in Yuzana, why you are in here in the world actually. Diba? There is the purpose in the process. Diba? So it's for you to discover that. So, and ang pinakamaganda lang dyan, if you are failing early, failing often, and failing forward, did you know that failure can really transform you? And look at this picture. So, nasan po ako dyan, guys? Ito po, to this. Okay, malaki po ba yung pinagbago natin? And alam niyo po, with that picture, the first picture na feeling namin wala talagang mangyayari sa amin. Alam niyo po, sa babang picture, okay, that's a minimum executive gold director na po ang nandyan. So just imagine, kung naiisip mo may mangyayari sa'yo, let me just say 5/5 po may nangyari sa amin sa picture na yan. Kaya may mangyayari sa'yo dito. Alright? And with this, trying hard looking beautiful girl. And alam mo guys, no, if I did not say yes to Miss Atel a few years back, I will not get my breakthrough, in this pandemic wherein I became an executive gold director and a Ruby director after which. Imagine, all happened in pandemic. Sabi nga, no, there is a breakdown. Mangyayaring breakdown sa pandemic mo, but there is still a breakthrough. May mess sa pandemic mo, but I'm sure there's a message in there. May test sa pandemic mo, pero may testimony dyan. Diba? You just have to really look what's in there, diba? Anong tinuturo talaga sa atin. Alam niyo bakit significant sa akin yung income ngayong Ruby Director na medyo kinikilig talaga ako? Kasi that's the income of pilots in Cebu Pacific. Imagine, diba? I did not shell out millions of tuition fee, diba? Or capital, just to earn what they are earning. Kaya very significant yan sa akin. And unfortunately, nakakalungkot man, even pilots po in Cebu Pacific, some of them, actually most of them, lost their jobs. Right? So yeah. And of course, meron din po tayong pagbabago sa itsura. Ready na po ba kayo? Ayan. Joke lang. Ako po yung nasa left. Okay? But eto na, serious na. Who are those people who really inspire me in the process? I'm about to finish. Give me 2 more minutes of your time. Alam mo, there are people that I really, I was so inspired with their failure na nag-transform talaga sa kanila. One of which, is Mentor Martin Casiano. Grabe lang to guys. From that person na mag-isang nagpe-present, may vision sa up north na napalalakihin niya, naglalakad sa Session Road para lang makahanap ng mapepresentahan, diba? Tapos naglalakad siya sa Session Road kasi daw, wala na daw siyang masakyan kasi super gabi na. To this person, which is a millennial leader of today, one of the leaders na may malaki talagang group up north, right? From those failures after failure, makakamit mo naman talaga. And of course, our mentors, Clark and Ian de Guzman, from this, na batang-bata na feeling na nabudol sila. They actually shared to us na may moment, ayaw na nila kasi feeling talaga nila nabudol sila. And, and they know na hindi na talaga sila, parang meron na silang perspective na hindi naman talaga sila yayaman sa Yusana. So, pumunta sila sa Yusana to quit. Just imagine, pumunta sila sa Yusana, magpapaalam sila mag-quit, ended up, na-attend sila, napa-attend po sila sa NDO. It's a new distributors orientation and they realize again what they can really achieve in Yusana. And did you know that today, they're one of the youngest $1 million club members. And when I saw this video, hanapin niyo po yan sa Facebook para kiligin din kayo. Sabi ko, grabe yung ngiti. Grabe yung goosebumps ko talaga, guys. Sabi ko, grabe, no? Parang Hollywood feels. You are seeing your name there. Imagine that. And of course, mentors Patrick and Michi Sandig, from riding a motorcycle, just dreaming of big things, diba? From failure to failure, pangungutya ng mga dating trabaho. Kasi achiever talaga si mentor Michi sa labas, diba? Yung sinabi, payaman ka na ba, Michi? Pero at that time, sobrang she's having her, pinaka-down moments din talaga noon sa Yusana, pero hindi sumuko kasi alam niya what they can really get here in Yusana. Nakita nila yung vision, nakita nila yung destination, and tignan mo naman, during this pandemic, they're actually one of our newest $1 million club members, one of the most solid leaders we have today. Diba? Amazing lang yan. Being an MDC is very amazing, but to happen that during pandemic, that's a totally different story and more inspiring. Do you agree? Diba? And of course, ang emperor. Emperors po namin. Ang idol nating lahat. Mentors Joanne and Nathaniel Sunyo. We all heard their rags to riches story. Nakatira sa banyo ng bahay nila para lang makatulong sa renta ng pamilya. Diba? Grabe yon. And alam mo yon, speaking of failure ba, 7 company po na MLM ang pinasok ni Mentor Nath bago niya nahanap si Yusana. Failure after failure. Walang inuuwing pera sa pamilya pero nag-auto-order pa. Di ba? Walang load pero kailangan mag-invite. Di ba? Walang makain pero kailangan mag-invite. Di ba? Naglalakad pa uwi. Di ba? Grabe yung mga story na yan. Buong araw hindi kakain. Magtubig lang just to survive the day. Pero grabe ba yung binigay sa kanila because they're one of our executive four-star diamond directors of today, and mind you, consistent top income earners ng USANA Philippines. Inspiring? Yes, but look at the failures they had. Is just that? No, they did not give up. Losers are really, focused on winners kasi, but winners are they're really indeed focused on winning. Diba? They really have to hit a goal. Kailangan nilang lagpasan. Kailangan nilang makuha kasi, especially for mentor Nathaniel Sunyo para sa pamilya niya. Diba? Lagi niyang sinasabi yan. Kung hindi mo ilalaban ang pangarap mo, sino ang lalaban ng pangarap ko para sa pamilya ko? Diba? Ikaw, kung hindi mo ilalaban yung pangarap mo ngayon, sino yung lalaban ng pangarap mo para sa pamilya mo, right? So what I have realized talaga, guys, every one of us has a vision. And along the way, you are realizing your passion naman talaga. Tama po ba? But the question is, have you realized what's your real mission in life? So let me tell you one thing. Because, I have been, talking about my bullying experience, na hinahanap ko talaga yung sarili ko, guys. And I'm so grateful to say, and I'm so confident, and so happy to say, and proud to say, na nahanap ko na yung mission ko sa life ko. And that, that is, that's the reason why I'm here on earth, is because kailangan ko mag-USANA so I can inspire a lot of people through this opportunity. Actually, guys, gift tayo ng Panginoon sa maraming tao out there. And you just have to believe in that. In fact, my name, special shout out to my friend Janica. She sent me the meaning of my name. Sabi niya, it's gift from God. That's why I call my team God's Gift. It's a subgroup definitely of our team. I call them God's gift. So I would like to also say hi to our GG community right here. They're all in here because we always believe that we are a gift, from God to the people that we are speaking to. Diba? We are here to really help them. This is indeed a business of changing lives. And remember lang, poverty is a choice. A decision not to change is a decision to remain the same. Sabi nga dyan sa verse na yan, there must be no poor people among you because God is going to bless you lavishly in this land that God and your God is giving you as an inheritance. Sabi dyan, guys, your very own land, but only if you listen obediently to the voice of God, your God, diligently observing every commandment that I command you today. Oh yes, God, your God, will bless you as He promised. God doesn't want us to live a lower life. He will indeed bless you. You just have to really have faith in Him. I-surrender mo lahat sa Kanya. And don't forget, as I end, this is my last slide, your dream is a confidential business agreement between you and God. And that's the reason why success is important. God equipped you guys to do it. And indeed, life is too short not to go for it. You have to really give your best. Every time nag-USANA po kayo, don't waste any minute. It's showtime. Sabi nga ng mentors namin, don't let the serious crisis put into waste. Diba? Go out there, diba? Go out, diba? And be a blessing to a lot of people. Because yes, you're a gift from the Lord. Because we are indeed carrying and embracing the mission of USANA in our hands. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. I just hope you have learned something from me this evening. And thank you once again, Ma'am Michelle, Ma'am Lisbeth, and to all our USANA corporates for inviting me. To God be the glory. Thank you po.
All right. Thank you very much, Michi. I know all of those participants who are in this call have really learned a lot from what you've shared to us this evening. And really, if you want to be successful in this world, according to Michi, we have to keep it real. Ayan. So if you experience failures, if you experience challenges and hardships, pagdaanan mo lang, wag kang tumambay dyan. All right? So it's for you to learn lessons, and everything that you need to be to grow and to be successful in life and also with USANA. All right? So thank you very much, Michi, and thank you to all of you who join us in this Zoom meeting and training. I hope we will also see you tomorrow for another lesson that we're going to hear from one of our millennial leaders in USANA, in our series of the art of failing forward. Ayan. So with that, maraming salamat. Good evening to everyone and God bless. Bye. Thank you.